Texas, your official news station. First with news, weather, and sports. Now, News Center 7.
Good day, I'm Mary Jeanette Sherman. The Persian Gulf has become a center of cooperation between the U.S. and Soviet Union, despite stiff competition for worldwide influence. The development stems from an effort from both superpowers to initiate an international peace conference to end the Iran-Iraq war that's been in stalemate since 1980. Cooperation between the two countries has been particularly sensitive in the Persian Gulf, as both sides are committing naval forces to halt the Iranian attacks. Both sides have agreed to enforce a UN Security Council resolution calling for a mandatory ceasefire and for effective measures, meaning an arms embargo. The resolution will be made in 2 or 3 weeks. 5,347 Texas high school seniors took a minimum skills exit test in May, and 34% of them failed, according to State Education Commissioner William Kirby. Speaking before the State Board of Education Saturday, Kirby expressed concern that many of these seniors were students who would have otherwise graduated if they had passed. The Texas Educational Assessment of Minimum Skills, or TEAMS test, was instituted as part of a major reform of state school laws in 1984. The test is first given in the 11th grade, and students who fail it are allowed to retake it in their senior year. Of this year's 34,199 11th graders, 45% of them failed, and they will have to take it again next year and pass it before receiving their 1988 diplomas. Responding to these results, the board voted unanimously to spend about $400,000 in otherwise unobligated federal funds to begin tutoring program this summer. According to Kirby, the program will help students who are at high risk of dropping out or not graduating. In Lubbock, a new program to help the homeless and out of work will save a rundown apartment complex on the brink of bankruptcy. The 600-unit complex, called the Heritage, was plagued with maintenance problems and a declining number of tenants. But it seems now the program is working. Out of 250 vacancies, 70 have been rented and currently have about 45 people on the exchange of work program. The very few people who are extremely talented receive a salary of $4 an hour to teach others their skills. The ultimate goal of the program is to get a regular paying job. Records kept by the San Antonio Fire Department show that fires in autos and vacant buildings account for almost 2/3 of arson cases. Records show a 30% increase in vacant building arsons and only one more vehicle arson over the same period last year. Fire Lieutenant Raymond Trevino said, "The department does not keep records of arsons by method of account if insurance fraud is the case with a large number of vehicles." There were a total of 299 arson cases for this year. Apparently everyone isn't a fan of Wheel of Fortune. An unidentified San Antonio firefighter has been put on administrative leave for the stabbing of co-worker James C. Renteria. Apparently the first man was watching a videotape of the game show. A fire broke out when Renteria demanded that he change the channel, and his fellow worker refused. The two began pushing each other when the unidentified fireman pulled out a knife and attempted to stab Renteria in the abdomen, but missed and stabbed him in the arm instead. Fire Chief Martinez said, "We're getting counsel from the city attorney's office on this matter." Coming up, it's Susan with weather, and later on we'll have a story about an honor that was bestowed our city.
King.
Good evening. Our big weather news in Texas tonight are the thunderstorms in the Dallas-Fort Worth area extending across East Texas and into Louisiana. And some of these storms are very heavy, and we have a severe thunderstorm watch over much of the northeast part of the state that should continue tonight. The storms are moving south at about 5 to 10 miles an hour, but don't worry, they'll die out long before they can affect us here in South Texas. What we do need to keep an eye on, though, are these hints of a tropical depression here in the Gulf of Mexico. And we'll be watching this over the next several days to see if it develops into a tropical depression or even a hurricane and which direction it moves. Elsewhere in the nation, we have a high-pressure frontal system moving in from the east coast. It's pushing back some scattered thunderstorms. And here in the northern part of the country, we have a high-pressure system. Now, where it's meeting with some low-pressure areas in Colorado and Nebraska, we're seeing severe thunderstorms and even some tornado watches. Unfortunately, this situation could continue for the next several days. The western part of the nation is unaffected, though, and we had our high today in sunny Phoenix. It was 103 degrees. The forecast for Texas includes continued storms in the northeast part of the state, sunny skies in the west, and partly cloudy skies here in South Texas. Let's take a look at our weather right now. The temperature is 91 degrees, the humidity is 68%. The winds are out of the south-southeast at 7 miles an hour, and the barometric pressure is 29.91 and rising. Tonight we should drop to a low of about 76 degrees, and the wind should pick up to about 15 miles an hour. It should be a nice, refreshing breeze. Now here's our extended forecast for the next San Antonio area for the next 5 days. Our summer weather is pretty much fitting into our regular pattern now. It should be partly cloudy tomorrow with the low of 76 to 78 degrees and a high of 94 degrees. Wednesday should be partly cloudy with the high of 95 and a low of 76. Thursday and Friday we'll have partly cloudy skies and continue with hot, humid temperatures, but keep your fingers crossed, and by Saturday we may see some sunny skies to go along with these high temperatures.
Thank you, Susan. Coming up, sports is next with Audra. Stay with us.
There are 35 million people with disabilities in America. We want the same things out of life you do, to use our abilities to the fullest. And because this is the decade of disabled persons, the National Organization on Disability urges us all to lend a hand right in our own communities. Let's put our abilities to work so that all America and Americans gain. Call this number now.
1-800-248-ABLE.
The Los Angeles Lakers have won it all. The Lakers' 106-93 win over the Boston Celtics gave the Lakers the NBA championship 4-2. Lakers coach Pat Riley says they are the best Laker team he's ever coached. The series MVP Magic Johnson claims the 1987 NBA champs to be the best team he's ever played with. Johnson's 16 points and 19 assists earned him his third playoff Most Valuable Player award since 1980. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar feels that at 40 years old, it certainly means a heck of a lot for him to win an NBA championship. Michael Spinks proved he is one heck of a heavyweight, knocking giant Jerry Cooney down twice and battering him into submission at 2 minutes and 51 seconds of the 5th round. The fight was billed as one for the heavyweight championship, but Mike Tyson is recognized as champion by the WBA and the WBC. Tyson was at ringside for Cooney's defeat, and Tyson and Spinks should meet in a major money match sometime next year. In baseball, Mike Scott hurled a 3-hitter for the Astros to beat the Los Angeles Dodgers 3-2, assuring the National League that Scott was the correct choice for their Cy Young Award last season. In the rest of the National League, the Atlanta Braves outslung the Cincinnati Reds 8-6. The Mets beat the Phillies 3-2, and the Expos topped the Cardinals 7-5. In the American League, Wade Boggs extended his hitting streak to 21 games as the Boston Red Sox ended the New York Yankees' 5-game winning streak with a 9-4 victory. The Rangers shut out the A's 7-0, and the Royals and Angels will get underway in Kansas City in just a little while. A majority of the people questioned at Central Park Mall Saturday feel a major sports stadium will support San Antonio's claim to be one of the nation's leading cities. The citizens group, San Antonians for a Major Sports Complex, found that of the 377 respondents surveyed, 59% favored raising the sales tax 0.5% to finance the new stadium. The most favorable location for the stadium chosen by the respondents was the Interstate 35 Austin corridor. As I'm a sports fan myself, I feel that a major complex would benefit our city and its people, but only if it brings in live, professional sports entertainment to our city. And that's sports. Back to you, Mary Jeanette.
Thanks, Audra. Stay with us.
One child, one life, your chance to give.
You know, I used to wonder how I could help, how I could make a difference to a child. Well, I found one of the best ways. I sponsor a child in a developing country through Foster Parents Plan. Imagine, for just 72 cents a day, only $22 a month, you can make it possible for a child to have schooling, medical care, and hope. Call now, because your love does make the difference.
It's always been said that the third time is a charm. In 1983 and 84, San Antonio was runner-up for the Most Livable City Award. Well, this year in Nashville, Tennessee, San Antonio was finally picked as the most livable city in the United States. The U.S. Conference of Mayors honored our city for creating the Arts and Culture Advisory Committee and adopting San Antonio's historic landmark district. Mayor Henry Cisneros, in a prepared statement, said, "All of us in San Antonio take great pride in our people and our community, and we are pleased and honored to receive this national recognition." Well, that's this edition of News Center 7. Have a nice day.
1, 2, 3.